Is visible base capped at 200 megabits per second? Recently, there have been reports that there is no 200 megabit per second speed cap on the visible base plan. This is a change from before, where the previous party pay version of the plans had a 200 megabit per second limit, but apparently the current plans do not. I've seen mixed reports as to whether or not the 200 megabit per second speed cap has been lifted on Reddit, so I decided to put it to the test. I signed up for a brand new line on Visible Base, which you can see right there, the $25 per month Visible plan. And if we go back, you can see the phone number ends in 4210. In my phone settings, you can see the active line is Visible Base, the phone number ends in 4210, and the active line of service is Visible. So is the plan capped at 200 megabits per second? Let's find out by running an Ookla speed test. This is the moment of truth. We are in an area where Verizon's 5G ultra-wideband network is available, and you can see the plan rockets up suspiciously to almost exactly 200 megabits per second. Now you might be wondering, all right, is that just the fastest speed available at this location? Well, to answer that question, I have another line of the Visible Plus plan right here, and let's run a speed test on Visible Plus to see what these speeds are like on a plan with no speed cap. And you can immediately see here, this plan is rocketed up. We are getting over 700 megabits per second on Visible Plus. That is phenomenal performance, but it also means that this Visible Base plan is in fact getting capped to 200 megabits per second. So unfortunately, that means from this testing, it looks like the 200 megabit per second speed cap is in fact still in place for Visible Base customers. There's something important to know about the 200 megabit per second limit though. It only applies when you're connected to Verizon's 5G ultra-wideband network. If you're connected to Verizon LTE or 5G nationwide, then the cap will not be there. So if we switch over to LTE and run a test, this should be fully uncapped data on Visible Base. Now, the only problem with Visible LTE or Verizon LTE as it is that I personally have never been able to get over 200 megabits per second on this connection. So even though I'm getting the fastest speeds available, I'm only getting around 140 megabits per second. And the only time I would get over 200 megabits per second is when I'm connected to Verizon 5G ultra-wideband, which is exactly when the 200 megabit per second limit is enforced. What does this mean for you? Well, it means if you sign up for Visible Base, you can still expect great speeds and performance, but you won't be getting over 200 megabits per second, which I will say is kind of ridiculous. Like, these speeds are plenty fast for doing literally anything I want to on my phone. I don't think you'll ever be limited by the speed cap whatsoever. I think the bigger difference between Visible Base and Visible Plus, and one of the best reasons to sign up for the Visible Plus plan, is priority data. On the Verizon network, if you are connected to LTE, the difference between having priority data and not having priority data can be pretty significant. In fact, what if we found out right now what the difference was? Let's go over, let's pop this device on LTE. This is a Visible Base test on LTE. We can see what the performance is like, and then we can compare that to Visible Plus. So again, we're getting the fastest speeds available, which are noticeably a little bit slower than before. It's picking up now. That could have been due to the network being busy, and then it's suddenly getting cleared out. So it looks like the Visible Base plan getting just under 160 megabits per second down, and it looks like it's getting around 25 megabits per second up. And there you have the results. Now let's see what we get on Visible Plus. Again, this phone has been switched over to LTE, and it has priority data. And you can see it immediately shoots up, getting the fastest speeds available, 175, 170. It definitely wasn't slow in the beginning like the regular Visible Base plan was. And yeah, that performance is outstanding. Basically the fastest speeds available on the Verizon network in this location. Now that said, the difference between 159 megabits per second on Visible Base and 171 megabits per second on Visible Plus is not that big in this specific location, but during other times of day and in other locations, the difference between having priority data and not can be pretty big. In fact, just to show you, if we run these tests at the same time, we're effectively creating network congestion, and the network will have to choose which plan to prioritize. And this is where you can see the difference. Visible Plus getting over 130 megabits per second down, Visible Base getting slowed down quite a bit to just 23 megabits per second. Both of these phones are connected to the same server, Comcast in Denver, Colorado. And yeah, this is what I mean. Like, when the Verizon network is busy, having a plan with priority data like Visible Plus can really make a difference. So there you go. That answers the question. Visible Base is, yes, still capped. It's still a great value plan. And it's worth noting, if you want to save some extra money, Visible is offering a limited time promo right now. You can save $5 off Visible Base and $10 off per month Visible Plus for 2 years using code VISIBLE24. I actually used that promo code when I activated my line of Visible Plus. It helped me save a little bit of money. I'll leave the plans linked in the video description in case you're interested in checking them out. And please do consider using my link when you sign up, because it helps support the channel at no cost to you. That's it for this video, testing Visible Base's 200 megabit per second speed cap. Click the like button if you found this video helpful, and share it with a friend because they might need to know the difference between Visible Plus and Visible Base and what performance is like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.